Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore trees. A little dream of me.
Вот там они сидят. Но они на той стороне.
They are on the other bank. The closest point is half a mile and almost a mile away.
Говоря, речка.
Their first mortar position used to shoot at us around the clock.
Отмерял. Это первые.
The distance grew. It's almost 3 miles now. Plus, the river is half a mile.
Круглыми сутками. То сейчас, грубо говоря, у нас дистанция увеличилась 4,5-5 километров. С учетом речки 800 метров.
Here we had a swallow. Literally. Why am I saying literally? It flew away and then didn't want to return. No more swallow. Its nest used to be here. Now it has fallen off because of the vibrations. We dismantled the tree late February, early March, but when the freaks started the war, we had no time. Then my family fled. So it stays. We decided to take it down after victory. The end of the story for now. At least we are not bored. Every day is a new year.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore trees. A little dream of me.
You are in Kherson, after all. We have everything here: apples, pears, rice, cheeses, and even the fruit. We call it Sisyphus. Have you heard of it? Oh, now you have. It's very delicious. We make this ourselves. It's a liqueur or tincture. If you haven't tried it yet, you must do it. The war started. An attack. Chaos in the city.
So it was very fast movement from Crimea border to Kherson. It's around 100 kilometers. We didn't expect that it will be so fast. We thought it will be much slower. And we thought that our soldiers could keep them from other side, from the river.
There was smoke. We saw how helicopters flew. In some places, enemy troops were landing. That is, they were already trying to capture important strategic objects. We formed army units because people were very angry and tried to do something. But what could people do without weapons?
Can you imagine, like, most of them doesn't have no artillery, no tanks, they have nothing.
Everyone wanted to fight. Everyone was ready to fight, even with a shovel or a knife there, with a stick or a hunting rifle.
In some moment, we just realized that Russians surround the city, and in any moment they could enter the city.
It was already a battle on the Antonivsky Bridge. Our guys fought there for 3 days. A black fog stood there for 3 days. We just watched it, and, well, it was very scary. Everything was burning there. And in the city, there was silence, dead silence. I think even the birds didn't fly.
During the day, we saw that our troops had taken control of the Antonivsky Bridge, tried to keep it, and set up checkpoints. They deployed there the equipment that was at Antonivsky Bridge. But the enemy was very quick to wedge in. The enemy began to use aviation. Before there was aviation, we held the city, more or less. As the enemy began using aviation and striking the units that were on the right bank from the air, all our units started leaving. Helicopters flew in and attacked the city. But Chornobaivka and the airport suffered the most. Then our helicopters flew in and they started to enter en masse at about 3 p.m. On the bridge, there was our cannon and a vehicle loaded with shells. I realized that they captured it and were examining it. I asked questions. What right do you have to be here? Is it a joke?
Unfortunately, we have to report somewhat distressing news. After the fierce fighting on the approaches to the city of Kherson, despite all the efforts of our army, control over the crossing to the city of Kherson was lost. On March 1st, they began to enter the city. The enemy forces at great expense managed to break through the city defenses. Columns of military vehicles were advancing.
As soon as our police left, Russians started to enter the city and they shot randomly without aiming. In Buzkovy Park, basically without weapons, we had to fight against the Russian army armed to the teeth against armored vehicles. We had only Kalashnikovs and Molotov cocktails. There were a lot of casualties because we had a disproportionate ratio of weapons. We simply did not have weapons. We had only assault rifles. Against us, there were heavy armored vehicles.
On March 1st, when they broke into the city, there was a terrible noise, incomprehensible. Those were tanks. This column moved and moved and moved. I don't know, it kept going till the morning. Tanks, APCs, trucks, covered trucks. A tank turned its gun, targeting a 5-story building, and it just hit it. From the window of this 5-story building, at which the first shot was fired, an old man shouted, "Get out of here, invaders!" And they started shooting at these houses and the nearby houses. This old man died. A young woman from this building died. In the house next door, disabled mother and disabled son died. A pregnant woman jumped from the 5th floor. Their doors got jammed by the explosion. They couldn't get out because the exit was blocked. Everything was on fire. People were just jumping, an absolute nightmare. On the same street, an old man was shot in his car. A former employee of the State Emergency Service was shot in his car along with his wife, and, as it turned out, the wife's sister was with them. She disappeared. Our neighbors and we heard her screams from the park nearby. They were raping her. She was found in 2 days, dead, covered with leaves and earth. They wouldn't let us out. They wouldn't let us take the bodies away. We had no communal services at this point. These fascists, these creatures, only allowed us to pick up corpses from our street in 3 days.
Here is a body. It's a woman. Near our pharmacy, at the corner. When they set up a checkpoint right here, right next to our entrance door, we thought, what should we do? How do we get out? But people didn't want to leave the city. They just refused. They were saying, we are from Kherson. We will not leave our city. We will defend our home, our Kherson. Fascists! This is crazy, jumping on the Russian APC. During the first protests, Russians were flabbergasted. People turned the APCS around.
People got together and started to protest. They stepped out into the streets.
The Russians were already in Kherson. We saw on the news that a rally was going to take place. We decided we had to go.
People come from all the lanes and little streets on the central, so we flow together as one stream and everyone is going in the same direction.
Go home while still alive. Go home while still alive.
We had such a charge of energy going to these rallies. You are shouting right in their faces, get out of Kherson. And Putin is such a bad person.
Kherson is Ukraine. Kherson is Ukraine.
We realized that we were on our land, in our city. We had the Ukrainian flag and no one can do anything to us. Thousands and thousands of Khersonians are on the central square. We heard that they installed powerful equipment on Freedom Square. They used social media to look the protectors, activists, leaders, in their opinions, and they started to do home arrests and threw people into basements. People started to disappear. Activists and journalists disappeared.
Glory to the armed forces of Ukraine. Glory!
During one rally, a blogger approached the occupiers to speak to them. This is it, this is
Your
it.
phone.
I'll give you the phone now. Leave me alone, leave me alone. Leave me alone. The Russian police came into town. Special forces trained to disperse people and disperse protests.
Fascists. Get
My dear, everything will be okay. First, when they just invaded, they tried not to offend the population. Maybe it was an order, maybe they tried to charm our people. Then they realized that the city doesn't support them, and they were raging. Bread disappeared, which caused panic. Then we stood in huge lines for bread. That was scary.
During the occupation, the most important thing is to survive. They stop you in the street, interrogate you. You keep silence. Then you ask, "What are you doing here?" And they answer, "We are liberating you from the Nazis."
Have you seen any Nazis?
I have never seen any. Have you found any? In 2 months? Show us at least one. We would love to see one. Such a rare animal, if it exists. Only on TV, in movies, German Nazis. That's it. Never. Ha! Nazis!
I never looked up. I was walking around with my head down. For 10 days, we all stayed inside. We were afraid to step out.
They broke into a store. "You are just breaking in. Why are you doing this?" An FSB officer pulled out a gun and started threatening.
Put the gun away, please.
I am not immortal, but I was moved by anger and not by fear. At 6 a.m. sharp, they raised their flag and played their moronic anthem.
The smell of burnt skin and hair hung all over the city. Terrible, impossible to convey. The stench of charred hair and dead bodies.
We were wondering about the origin of this smell. Military trucks came there, dropped something, then put some white powder all over it. In the evening, they set it all on fire. And so this heavy smell of dead flesh spread all over the city.
We live here near the dump, and the smell was that of corpses. You know, we had to close the windows so that it wouldn't stink to get rid of this smell. Our guess was that somewhere at the dump, they are probably burning their soldiers. We could see their uniforms, the helmets, their flags, the remains of their flags. They were taking away the dead bodies at night. We saw traces of blood. In Kakhovka, there were already first crematoriums.
A covered truck passed by, and an arm or a leg stuck out of it. Blood was dripping. It moved towards Berislav region.
Then they brought the crematorium in which they burned people.
Pressure, intimidation, torture, murder. It was genocide. They had some lists, and they stopped minibuses. They checked these lists to see if there were any journalists there, girls and guys.
The other day, journalist Oleg Baturin disappeared in Kakhovka. He was a very active pro-Ukrainian journalist, so perhaps he attracted attention. On my birthday, I hear a knock at the door. I need Valentina. My heart dropped. This is it. I understand that they came for me. I thought about droning the phone, and then I thought, no, if they are already here, I won't help. I come out on my wobbly feet, And there stands a delivery girl with a bouquet of flowers and says, "This is for you." So I sat down and cried. We are Kherson Regional Puppet Theater. During the occupation, Russian actors worked here. We were not here. We did not work with them because we didn't want to. We hate them.
They searched the house, took me away, and brought me to the pre-trial detention center. Then they interrogated me all day. They let me out in the evening, and then they came here again for a conversation. And after that, I realized that I had to run away because they were forcing me to open the theater. As a theater director, as I didn't want to collaborate as a people's deputy, we ran away from here on April 1st. My wife and I and our younger daughter. We were able to escape from here.
They drove around in APCs and walked around here.
They could take the child away,
Take him away from health improvement.
as though it was health
And
improvement.
then you cannot get the
And
child
then-
back.
Many women sent their children to summer camps, but there was no way to get them back from the other side. They wouldn't let anyone go to Kherson. And we had to transport them illegally. I picked them up from the reeds and set meeting points by phone. People call me, I go there, I tell them where I will pick them up. I pick them up and take them to Kherson. Well, I rescued about 200 children from there. Just so you understand, I brought women with children here, and they kissed the steps on the embankment. I drove after curfew and after 6 p.m. and under machine gun fire. But to be honest, Russians were afraid to drive at night, and I flew freely at full speed across the Dnipro at night. 4 people in a boat, bags, and off I go.
At night, Russians walked around, shot just because they were drunk. Schools closed, shops closed, there was no food. I saw how a residential building collapsed, and I saw rockets being launched.
Жилий дім та бачив, як запускали ракети.
When the occupation began, I was embroidering this in March-April 2022. My husband was much older than me, and he grew up in the Soviet Union. He respected the Russians. He considered them brotherly people. And when they came, he was not afraid. He said they will not do us any harm. And when he saw the Russians break down the door to someone else's apartment, he went to stop them. They humiliated him, and he came home very upset and then fell ill. He had a stroke and was bedridden for a month. And I sat next to him and embroidered this thing. And he really liked it. This is an Easter towel, but he died the day before Easter. My Borya. If it weren't for the Russians, if it weren't for the war, he would still be alive because he was in good health. These are embroideries from Stanislav. The Russians occupied a library and they turned it into a prison. They tortured people there. They tore off the sleeve of the shirt and wiped the blood off the people they beat. I washed it for a long time, but it was still all stained. I decided not to fix it and then leave it as it is, as evidence of Russian aggression.
During the occupation, a lot of Khersonians were in resistance. Khersonians, I mean all region, and they still resist. They're still in occupation.
It seems to me that every second person was a partisan here. People called and said that some military vehicles are moving in.
Throw it, throw!
This is Kherson. Here we are smiling at them. Over there, partisans are killing them. They searched the guys and the cars. and we were just two women. A bunch of boxes, some mess in the car. We hide telephones in our bars. It was so easy to hide things, totally easy. I looked terrible. Didn't wash my hair, no shower, no manicure. The first month, that's how I walked around, almost wore an old lady headscarf. So you are also miserable. You're looking at them, they are looking back, have no idea what's going on.
I started writing music since childhood because I loved to experiment with the instrument. It was a whole range of emotions, from hatred to despair, because I was born in Russia. And when it started, well, my world collapsed. It started in 2014 for me. Well, I didn't understand how low my former homeland could go. Well, in 2022, I didn't expect it. It was such a blow. It just broke me. My emotions were broken, crashed. That's why when I sat down to play music, it was just pure rage. I was riding a scooter around the city, and if I came across orcs' positions, I snapped photos. I stick my phone in my pocket, and I drive by. Then I take a look, successful or not. When we were filming this pseudo-referendum, the shots turned out a bit bad, very blurry, but I couldn't just brazenly start filming them right in the face.
I was very scared on February 24, 2022. I thought then that I would leave here because I would not be able to do anything. And on February 25th, I woke up and decided, no, they made a mistake, they will not be here. And I knew that I would do everything that depends on me for this. My protest started when I told my students not to be afraid. Everything will be fine. We will still have a Ukrainian university, a Ukrainian college. Ukraine will prevail, and I supported it.
We tried to understand where the front line was. In general, in the first month we had partisans here. They operated here, in this triangle, and we tried to supply them somehow. It was not working first. They did not trust us. They did not know who we were. Here are the nails to puncture tires. The sharp end goes up. This is where I was lying. Here they were torturing my friend. Here is his blood. Everything is upside. All is upside down. With this extension cord, they tried to strangle me. They tortured me with electric shock, beat me with a baton with a PVC pipe, and they starved me. This is the chess set I drew for myself in prison.
In prison?
Yeah.
And did they give you pencils?
Well, yes, so I could write a confession.
At some point, the Russian invaders came and said, "You have time till Saturday. There's time to pack up and then the building will be ours." And that's it. There was a torture chamber in this building. We knew from the news that people we knew were taken there. My son-in-law was killed by the Russians. He disappeared. We understood that they were watching him. Someone was just waiting for him near the house. He left the house a few minutes earlier than his wife, and then no one saw him. I just can't. When the guy is 30 years old, and they bury him in a closed coffin, it's just horrible. After some time, they wanted to hold a referendum, and they did it. People didn't support it. Nobody stepped outside during this time. Nobody went to vote. They walked down the street. A woman carried the ballot box. Two machine gunners walked next to her. My friend and I didn't take part in this referendum. I don't know where they got the numbers. They just wrote whatever they wanted. And after that referendum, we became the Russian Federation. Thank God, it didn't last long.
Glory to Ukraine.
We realized that they are leaving the city when they blew up all electricity in the whole region. No light, no water, we had nothing. When they left the city, they blew up whatever they could. On the 10th, the last vehicle left Kherson. In the evening, everyone gathered outside. We set tables. No water, no power, almost no food left.
On November 11th, I found out from my friends that our troops are entering the city. I went to meet them, riding my bicycle. Our armored vehicles are arriving. Our guys are driving in.
When our troops entered the city, I didn't think we had that many people. Everyone who came out to greet them. Thank you, thank you. Are you married? Let's go get married now.
People are greeting soldiers, so happy, kneel in front of them. Thank them for liberating us.
Girls, do you have an extra flag? They were hugged, kissed, gave them tons of flowers. People got their flags out. I cannot imagine that we can become the Russian Federation. No way. I can't get my head around it.
Glory to Ukraine.
Feelings, well, the joy of freedom, the joy that we are not longer under occupation, that we return to our lives, our normal, free lives on our own land. The fourth day of freedom, the fourth day of happiness. I know now what prison is, because we had 9 months of prison. And I know now what freedom is.
Kherson, this is what was needed so that we could block the road to Crimea, so that we could shell. Plus, it is a very big victory for Ukrainians, because Kherson is a key step.
They let us rejoice for a week. After that, either they have set up their weapons or maybe delivered them, I don't know. A mass shelling of the city started.
Дальше будет красиво очень.
It will be really beautiful now. During turn of the camera.
This is Dnipro, the Dnipro River, and the Russians are on the other side. Давай, пошли, подожди.
An artillery shell. Well, it happens. It's not the first time. No, not the first. How many times? It's the second time. No, the third time on the first floor, and upstairs, I think twice.
Until you experience this yourself,
Сам лично.
you will not understand it.
Ты
Artillery, howitzers, aerial bombs, all of it hit the city.
все.
Incoming, incoming, come here! The city has turned into a shooting range, and you become a target.
I think they are training like at a shooting range. They are wiping the city from the face of Earth. The city is dead. We were hit too. So much destruction of the residential areas.
People come to visit the city and stay only for 10 or 15 minutes. They just can't stand it. You are lucky today, but you might be not so lucky tomorrow.
Every shot we hear from the left bank brings grief and sorrow. We need potatoes to make the borscht delicious. Life broke me. I feel this emptiness inside as I have nothing left. I lost my husband, my mother, my father, my home. I don't have a house. Nothing in the house. I have nothing. This is the aftermath of the Russian world. This is what they leave behind. Nothing is holding me here anymore. Only that our guys are defending our country, defending Ukraine. Interesting to watch how our guys are burning orcs. I hate these people. They took everything from us. During the occupation, we lived in the Russian-controlled part of the Kherson region. I got news that during an artillery shelling in Mykolaiv region, where my parents lived at the time, a shell hit my mom, and she died from injuries incompatible with life. After liberation, my husband worked in construction, and once again, a Russian shell hit the car. It first killed him. Then the car burned down, along with my husband.
They target us every hour, every half hour, and everywhere. Hospitals, schools, just parks, ordinary houses. Guided aerial bombs are the scariest because they weigh half a ton or 300 kilograms of explosives. If a shell weighs a few kilograms, it can't do too much damage. But when a bomb hits, it can destroy half the street. And of course, it's scary when bombs fly straight into the city, which is trying to live, trying to resist. On the second floor, the glass is completely gone. All broken. The shelling continues now.
For a while, we moved to a completely different space, which used to be empty before. We worked there until the electricity and water went out for a long time. What else would we do? We had to clean it up and work. And do people come to shop? Wow. Well, we are unbreakable. This is Kherson. It's okay. Our district is safe. If you want, you can put on bulletproof vests, and we have helmets too. First, we couldn't believe it. It's impossible. A flood on top of everything? The water is rising rapidly and drowning all around. When Russians blew up the Kakhovka Hydroelectric Power Station, I had an aquarium with goldfish and other fish. My house drowned. The fish were the only ones who physically didn't suffer. They swam around my apartment for a week, and then through the broken windows they swam right into the Dnipro.
Houses were floating, cars, all sorts of things. All was mixed up and floated around. Armed forces of Ukraine! Come on, old man, come on, you can do it!
On June 6th, they blow up the dam.
Sit here. Everything was washed away. There were 4 of us. Guys, who blew it up? Why? Russians did. We saw how the water came. We had animals here. God, they blew up bridges we could not leave anywhere. We planned to have a kindergarten here. Animals, little donkeys. Bend over, bend over.
At 6 a.m. my phone rings. I pick it up. Good morning. They go, what do you mean good morning? They blew up the dam. Our store is by the river. Our house is by the river. Our stores got flooded. All the goods got flooded. The refrigerators rise and then fell, all because of the water. The flood collapsed, the destruction. The drywall tore and collapsed. Evacuation of a flooded car. This car was used to evacuate people from the flooded area yesterday, as many injured residents as possible. Here, on the first floor, they were trapped. Behind me is my house. In the house, probably, the water stands up to here. This is my grandfather's shirt. It is 80 years old. It was dredged by water. Stuff was spilled on top of it. The stove fell on it. The biggest pity is my library and inexhaustible supply of pasta. I put it all up, of course, but they are still swimming around now. You forgot the goat. How could you forget it? We don't know all the consequences of this tragedy. It seems to me that a lot of people died because the houses were floating around.
Does anyone need water or food? Who needs water or food? On the third day, during the rescue operation, they have resumed shelling the city. They are shooting!
On the left bank, all of us have friends left there, as it is same region. My friend's mother-in-law lived on the left bank. The woman is 84. She sat on the roof for several days.
There were so many requests for rescuing from the other side. The Russians organized ambushes. They did not evacuate people themselves and would not let us do it. A lot of people died, thousands, I think.
Thousands?
I think so, and no one counted them. When a body was dug out somewhere, well, Russians forced relatives to take the body to Kalanchak for forensic examination. There, they registered the case as a heart attack and forced families to bury victims in mass graves. If relatives were making a lot of noise saying, "We won't let you do this," and there would be a big scandal, they returned bodies. I went to bury those bodies very often. How did they do funerals? I would come and perform the funeral services for those who had already been buried. People didn't know how to get there and back. There were huge problems with transportation. The cemetery was flooded. You had to bring a body with a car. And where do you get a car? There were no coffins. Very often, bodies were brought from other places and buried in random bags.
Ой, ходила журавоніка по Іваничаю.
The graves were collapsing. The cemetery was damaged. Shells were flying. Near Oleshki, corpses were all around. Russians did not let relatives pick them up. The sun was up. All the heat. Mines surfaced all over the mined coast, so it was impossible to get to them safely. On the other hand, even if you made it there, what could you do? Carry corpses on a bike?
А я свою дитиноніку тихо покачаю.
Here I am walking, and it flies above me, and I don't know what's on its mind. Human safari is ongoing. At first, it wasn't scary, on adrenaline, but it became scary later. It got scary the next day. It seems like a lot of bees, but actually these are drones. Our city now borders the front line, and the enemy is 1 kilometer away from us. I was going to church, head buzzing, raised my head and saw 5 drones above me. They are just hunting us. We are like in a shooting range. They hunt ordinary people, children.
Degenerates, everyone okay? You okay? Okay? Press it, press!
I don't know if they will drop explosives. What's going to happen? 4 drones left. One was following me to the church. Here I was, walking in a long dress, headscarf. They just track where people are, by the stores, in vehicles. They throw explosives at your feet. So recently I personally got under such an explosion. I was saved by heaven or God. I don't know what saved me. I was in the very heart of the city, in the very center. I was driving my car, and as soon as I stopped and got out of the car, I had the sound in the sky, the typical drone sound. I raised my head. I didn't see that drone. I heard the first explosion. I heard the second explosion. It was approaching me, and the third explosion happened right under my feet. What saved me is that the explosive didn't work. The drone flew up very quickly, dropped the explosive, and it exploded through the roof. It did so that it falls on the driver and passenger seats, so that people would definitely get hurt. Every day, if a car drives into the yard and the drone is there, if you have enough time, you leave. If you don't, it could drop the explosives. My husband died, and we can't go to the cemetery. It is hanging there, over our heads. This is the market, a crowded place where people gather, and at the exit from the market by the gate, a drone dropped a grenade and it didn't detonate. There is security guard there, people are working there, and it just lies there. It is human safari.
I was driving a car, and a drone dropped a round of ammunition on me and damaged my arm. The car went out of service. The car was nicknamed the Terminator at the service station. They say, "You and your car are two Terminators, kamikaze, damn it." My call sign is Sonechko, sunshine. When I started distributing humanitarian aid at the river port next to a kindergarten called Sunshine, and I was driving there and approaching, people ran up to me shouting, "Our sunshine is here." And so it stuck with me. But before the war, only my wife called me Sunshine.
They hit houses, they hit people. Human safari. Yesterday I was by the river and I was gardening. I had to run from drones 3 times. It wasn't a regular drone. It was not a recon drone. It was an FPV. I heard it. I saw it over my head. It was hovering there. I managed to hide, but I was just lucky that I have survived. They have the ability to see the civilians just like we do. If they see that this is a woman walking, or a man, a woman, a child, old or young, or on a bicycle, they don't care who it is. They don't consider us human. In this gym, already the 3rd one, we always hear the sounds of shelling. There were strikes on our street. Once our friend could not come to our class because 2 drones were hanging over the building. At first it was just school dances, and then it was a gym, paid classes. I started teaching dancing in these clubs, and now I continue to do it. In Kherson, a normal day probably is like that. Work, shelling home. Work, shelling home. We were in the city center with colleagues, and literally in 5 minutes after we left, a guided aerial bomb landed near this place.
Are you there? Alive? No one is here.
Masha!
Grandma!
My daughter went to work, and Masha went to a pharmacy. I went to the bathroom to wash my hands. My kids stayed in the kitchen to finish drinking tea. It was horrible. My head is still. Everything was falling. Doors are torn out. The windows were flying inward. Now I'm comforting myself with though the in Kherson life continues, despite the shelling. It's scary. Everything is exploding every day, but you walk down the street and people are coming towards you. And the only thing you notice is how Kherson is quietly going underground. From above, it seems like people are just walking around and there's nothing else, but underground there are theaters, master classes, events, concerts, and everything else. Kherson is now such an underground city. And if someone arrives and it seems to them that there is only destruction and everything is so bad, actually life is in full swing underground.
Життя кипить отам під землею.
Apart from vyshivankas, I have my military uniform.
Також.
These are just few vyshivankas. I didn't get them all.
Я ще не всі позабирала. Так.
From time to time, I put on my vyshivanka, so I can step out and show that we are Ukrainian. Look how beautiful. Moving towards victory.
Йдемо до перемоги.
Only forward.
Тільки вперед.
And yes, a woman should be woman. I got sneakers, but for victory,
В мене ще
I got Lautins. This is for victory, to go with a dress.
I have possibility to leave Ukraine. I choose to stay here. Maybe it's best possibility and once in a life to be in the situation when you can test yourself. Every day I'm asking myself, who am I?
Ой, не плачте, українці, що до бою йдете, як вам Господь допоможе, та й ся повернете.
When Kherson was deoccupied, our Kherson Drama Theater started poetry readings.
походити зустріч,
I was invited to read my stories from my book,
читати свої
Gazelle and the World.
і мир нову.
I started reading humorous stories about the occupation, and people really liked them. And the theater director, Oleksandr Kniha, said that this could make a good play. What the Russians are doing now to Kherson, they are not just hunting people, they are destroying our memory. The museum buildings were shelled. Museum walls are looted. Our culture is just as much under threat as our physical lives.
Дуже сильно
We felt it very strongly when several Russian missiles hit near our house.
в будинку.
It was really scary. When it whistles, we immediately run to a shelter and hide.
Ми чуємо це, то ми
But in general, if it is somewhat far, not too close, we are not paying attention. As for the shellings, they are here and now,
вони і
as they were yesterday.
завтра були,
A quiet and peaceful day. That almost never happens.
не буває.
The kids have grown up already. Yes, they are already big, you know. When they left 2 years ago, they were completely different. They grew up. Children change, you know. I haven't seen much of them growing. I only see it in photographs, which they send me. I haven't seen my mom either, already for 2 years. The 3rd year, already, actually.
My daughter was with me those time.
Rudy, sit. Sit, please.
She more than 2 years abroad, but since that period I have seen her 2 times through the war. All my family abroad right now. My mother, my sister, son. It's a choice. Whatever, how is it, like hard or not? But I choose it, so I have to.
I don't want to use their word. We will have our victory, Peremoga. They say that they defeated Nazism. No, they just appropriated it. They are the Nazis.
I'm just learning now. I am only getting to know it. But in the beginning, as I watched them, I saw them through my camera or the recording. I saw how they moved around. My first impulse was to drop something on them, to blow them up in pieces, so they disappear completely from the land, from this earth. This was my first wish. And then these negative feelings faded away. Why? Because we must always have pure thoughts. Revenge is not needed. We shouldn't act like they do. We must stay human. My husband also served. When I was just 2 months pregnant, their dad was killed in the east. That's why they never saw their daddy. I had a very close friend, Bear. His last name was Bear, Medved. There has never been a single birthday he didn't greet me. I don't mean gifts, but on my birthday he always called me, no matter where he was. He'd always call before evening. We celebrated together, and when he was out of Kherson, he would just call. After liberation, he joined the army and served for 17 days. On August 13th, right before my birthday, he was killed. I knew it at 10 p.m. I realized something had happened because he didn't call me. A missile hit him. He was torn to pieces. They had to do a DNA test. They were just body parts all charred. Why they are still little? They still don't understand this. They wake up when it's really loud. I managed to calm them down and put them to sleep. Everything will be alright. We will rebuild. Everything will be fine someday. Let's take a walk while it is quiet and the weather is nice. The left bank is waiting for liberation. The left bank wants to return to Ukraine. I don't know. Our life is here. To leave it all, to abandon, it is impossible. The drones are hunting people these days. I will say one thing. While the world is asleep, we are dying here. Excuse me.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore trees. A dream, a little dream of me. Say nighty-night, kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me. Why I'm alone and blue as can be. A dream, a little dream.